Growing up, I really looked up to my granddad, my koro. Yeah, he taught me how to be a man and stuff like that, how to be respectful and, you know, giving and loving. Sports-wise, probably like Sonny Bill Williams or Benji Marshall. Kiwi icons like that, that I loved watching growing up. My coach was sort of like my granddad, hey. He played when he was like young, so like he played both rugby and rugby league, so probably my harshest critic. So like after a game he would be like, oh, you need to do this and work on this, and I was like, ah, yeah. So he taught me. He always come to pretty much every single one of my games and tell it how it is, and even if I had a pretty good game, he would always pick out the little stuff, but if he wasn't like that, I probably wouldn't have gone away and worked on it. It is cool being a role model for kids and stuff like that on the field, but I think for me it's more important to be a good role model off the field. For me, I try to drive into the younger generation as in, you know, whatever your goal and dream is, give it 100%, give it a red hot crack, and you know, that's all you can ask for really, is you can win away, and when I really gave it a good go, and I think that's probably the most important, is like, you know, don't give up on your dreams and your goals, keep chasing and keep kicking them. So I think my culture is hugely important to me. Special, like really, really special. It's who I am and what makes me. So, you know, my mum always, you know, drove that into me at a young age. So yeah, it's obviously hugely important and special to me, and for me to be able to, you know, to do that for, you know, the next generation to come through now is, you know, hugely important and special, and just be proud of who you are and what you are. So, you know, about me and who I am and what makes me. You know, my mum made me this before I went away to move to Australia. So it's just pictures of, you know, myself, you know, where I'm from, and all my brothers and sisters and my family. Over here, ko in Maori means like me, like who I am. This is just, you know, everything that makes me pretty much. So it's got my, you know, in New Zealand and in my culture, it's about, you know, who you belong to. So, you know, I've got my mountain, you know, me and my ancestors belong to my mountain, my river, my iwi. My iwi's like little clans, I guess, in English terms, clans around New Zealand of like where your family and where you came from. So this is hugely important to me. So I have it pretty much directly across from my bed. So when I wake up, I look at it every morning and, you know, just look at it, have a big smile on my face, and you know, I see my family and who I am. So you always start your pepeha, which is like when you introduce yourself to somebody new or a wide range of people, you always start off by saying this, ko. So, ko karu o te maunga, ko waikoto te awa, ko tainui te iwi, ko Ngāti tāhinga raua, ko Ngāti mahinga o ku hapu, ko tainui te iwi, ko whaingaroa hau. So that's who I am and what I'm about. You can make it way longer if you like, and you can pretty much bring in your mum, your family, your sisters and stuff like that. There's a little you know, saying or quote, I guess, from my region is Waikato Tainui. So it's Waikato tani wharau, he peko e tani wha, he peko e tani wha, he peko e tani wha. So that's like a cool saying. So everyone in Waikato or Tainui pretty much knows that, really. So I guess I was pretty lucky, like at a young age, you know, not to have many injuries. Every now and again, like the rolled ankle or something like that, but I was pretty lucky to not have any major surgeries. When I came into the NRL, I think now I've had 2 shoulder reconstructions, ankle surgery, knees. Yeah, it's pretty brutal and full-on sport, but you know, I love it and willing, like, you know, I put my body on the line for, you know, my club, the fans, but also my family and stuff like that. And yeah, it's a pretty brutal sport, but you know, I love it and wouldn't change it for the world. But I guess probably the biggest challenge for me younger is rugby league's not hugely popular in the South Island, Christchurch. It's all rugby dominated, so that's probably one of the challenges I've faced coming through is, you know, an NRL player or a rugby league star coming out of Christchurch is kind of unheard of. You know, there's a few before me, but you know, back in the olden days, there was quite a lot. You know, a lot of like, you know, West Coast and Christchurch, like the mining towns and stuff like that. There was a lot of rugby league players coming through, but you know, it sort of died off, I guess maybe in the early 2000s, and then yeah, that was probably a challenge. But now it's booming, it's growing up massively. So it's really cool to see you know, kids playing rugby league in schools and for clubs in the South Island, and put a smile on my face. It's nice. I think yeah, that's a massive challenge for me is being away from my family. You know, I'm so family orientated. Would love to go home every day and just be around my family because, you know, they can cheer you up when you need it, you know, humble you when you need it, but then if you're doing a bit of a tough time, they can make you forget about, you know, all the outside noise and really make you, you know, enjoy the moment. And, you know, I think that's probably what I love most about being with my family. It doesn't matter how much of a hard day that you have or, you know, if you didn't have a good game, etc. like that. They always get around you and make you feel special. And, you know, that's really, you know, probably, yeah, that's pretty hard for me to be away from them. And, you know, I try to get home as much as I can, but, you know, the season and stuff like that's pretty long. You know, the club's really helpful with me being able to sneak off home for a weekend, or, you know, I love the boys and I love the club. They get around me a lot because they know how much my family means to me and how it's just me here in Australia. So, and, you know, I call the boys and, you know, the coaching staff and all the staff upstairs my family. So that's pretty cool. And you know, I'm really happy here. So yeah. Oh, it was incredible. It was unreal. It was, I didn't know, but they all made shirts. It's just got my name and then just a few pictures of me on the t-shirts. So to have all my family and friends there, my close family and friends, was really special. And I remember running out, I could just hear them. And I looked over and there was like 90 of them all wearing t-shirts. So I was cracking up, but I was trying to stay serious for the game, but it was really cool to see. And, you know, to see them after the game was hugely emotional. And I remember my granddad took me out for lunch and he asked me what I wanted to do and be when I grew up. And I remember telling him at a young age I wanted to be a rugby league player and play for the New Zealand Kiwis. And I remember promising him at like the age of like 9 years old that if I ever get the jersey, I'm going to give you my first one. So for me to be able to play my first debut game in Christchurch, where I played my junior footy and was raised majority of my life, and for him to be able to be there and watch me live after the game, for me to, you know, give him my Kiwis jersey was, you know, hugely emotional. And yeah, it was something I'll never forget. So yeah, that's pretty cool.